Ivana. It's unmuted.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chester Students' Union. I'm Scott Farmer. I'm the current Change Director and Interim Chief Executive of Chester Students' Union. And for the purposes of the elections, I'm the Deputy Returning Officer, which means I have a duty to make sure these are free and fair elections across our membership. As we gather here for the Quiz the Candidates event, let's take a moment to appreciate the significance of elections and democracy in our Students' Union. Not only is it the chance to empower you to choose leaders who will represent your voices, bring positive changes, and shape the future of our vibrant community, it's also a chance to be heard, make a difference, and contribute to the thriving spirit of our union and the university community. Our elected officers are at the beating heart of the student voice and not only work with students and student groups, but meet the key decision makers, help improve the university experience, and ensure the Students' Union is delivering for its members. So, embrace the opportunity, engage in the process, and let's together build a stronger, more inclusive Chester Students' Union. And I'd like to wish all of our candidates the best of luck, not only for tonight, but for the rest of the week. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I'm Howard, so I am helping run the elections at the Students' Union, and I'll be facilitating most of tonight as well. For all the candidates here, you'll probably already know all those emails that I've sent and Teams messages probably late into the evening. So welcome to Quiz the Candidates, as Scott said. Today marks the first day of voting. Closes on Thursday, but this is a big day, so it's obviously the sort of launch day. And this is the student leader election, so this is a process which will decide who the three individuals are which will lead the Students' Union going into the next academic year. So a really important role. Tonight you'll hear from the candidates for President, VP Education and VP Student Life. They will each give opening speeches lasting 3 minutes. They prepared for this. Then there are the questions. We have 2 questions that have been submitted through social media before today, which the candidates are aware of and have seen, and will have 2 minutes to answer. And then we're going to also go into the audience yourselves, so you'll be able to ask questions of the candidates as well. Just to say on the questions that you do ask, you can't ask an individual candidate, you must ask the position. So ask all of the education officer candidates rather than just one of them. Right, let's get started then. So could I ask that all the candidates for VP Student Life come up and take a seat here on the stage for me? Yeah, round of applause. That look okay on the camera as well? Ready? So we actually do have 5 candidates for this role, obviously 2 here present tonight. As well as the 5 candidates, we have Ron. Does anyone know who Ron is? Anyone met him before? So Ron is reopen nominations, and that is a candidate which runs in every election. That is if you are unhappy with all of the other candidates and you want to reopen and force a re-election, which will be a very legitimate opinion to have if you have that. Obviously, Ron can't be represented here tonight, but you will see him on the ballot, and you will also be obviously able to vote for him. Just to say, if there are any VP Student Life candidates coming in, take a seat. Mohammed Nauman Liaquat has sent his apologies and has sent me a speech to read out. So I will do that at the end of these guys. But he sprained his ankle, so unfortunately he can't attend tonight. So without further ado, so each of you will have 3 minutes to speak. Then I will read out Mohammed's speech, and then we'll go to questions. So do you want to start? Just introduce yourself, and then I'll get a time.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's me, I'm Saiful Islam. I feel honored presenting in front of you as a Vice President of Student Life of Chester Students Union in Action. I'm a student of February cohort 2023. Now, presenting myself as a candidate. Actually, I believe leadership, and I believe I'm fit for the first position of the Vice President in our Chester Students Union election. And I think leadership comes from experience and dedication, and I'm fit for because I have experience related to the post because in my country I was General Secretary of Bangladesh Youth Assembly, which is Chair Parliament. And I was Chair of Parliament member of that institutions. And I was Vice President of the Rotary Club of Dhaka, Spain. Rotary Club is an international organization. After that, I was representative of my cohort, February intake 2023. Lastly, I was convener of newly formed Varanasi Student Society of our university. And then dedication. I think I have so much dedication because I have already spent 30 hours up to my campaign for this post. And whatever I do, I have always I give my dedication to do the work. And here, what I do for me, I have some manifesto to fulfill my responsibility. Actually, I promise to students, all of the students actually, to implement a comprehensive communications strategy to inform all the students about union activities, events, and opportunities. I will ensure university accommodation for the maximum number of students.
Sorry, we've run out of time there. There'll be a chance, obviously, in the question of what you were just about to say.
Helping them,
But that's
as well as helping them to
sorry, that's
get.
just not there. We'll come back to that. Round of applause, please. Okay, and on to the next candidate. Do you want to introduce yourself, and then I'll start with 3 minutes.
Hi everyone, my name is Marina Scale, and I'm running to be next leadership line. Why would I apply for this role? One word, passion. I'm really passionate about helping people, and I'm extremely passionate about making sure that the university gets the most out of it. I'm a part of the cross, and I understand that being a part of the team and being a part of that society is just great. It takes away cares away and makes you feel so great, and I want that experience for all the students here. That's why I want to double the number of people in sports and societies that come, especially those who are perhaps on the lonely side or who have anxiety, because that's on the rise right now. And I want to try and reduce this by perhaps getting them on teams or another application to try and make sure that they're able to talk to that society or sports team without having to show a face and get to know them, and then you can speak to them. And then another thing that I found is funding funding is a massive deal to so many sports teams and societies, and they either don't feel like they have enough of it, or they feel that the equipment is lacking in terms of, they've had it for many years and they need stuff like that is so expensive, but it's necessary. And I feel like providing them with this and putting them on something in an order where you can have those who need it the most to get it, that would be great for them. The point is the student support services. I know I've been waiting personally for about more than 2 weeks to hear back from one of them, and I know many of the people are waiting for quite a while to hear back from them, and I'd like to try and shorten these times to make sure everyone gets the support they need in the fastest time possible. And also promoting sports teams. I know some sports teams and societies don't feel as promoted as they can, and I know I've seen events that have happened and I've only seen they've happened after they've happened. I'm not been able to go to them, so I think trying to promote them better would actually help them to make sure that they again get double the amount of people they could have. But yeah, that's it.
So it's down to me to read a statement from Mohammed, who can make it tonight because it was sprained ankle. So I'll do my best, if you're listening, Mohammed, to represent you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty members and my fellow students, my name is Mohammed Nauman Liaquat, and I'm from Chester Medical School. As the candidate for Vice President of Student Life, I'm honoured to stand before you here today. Or I am, at least not. This university is not just a place of learning, it's a vibrant community where each of us plays a vital role in shaping our collective experience. Together, we create the heartbeat of this institution, and it's a privilege to serve you in this capacity. Our university is more than just a campus, it's a home away from home for many of us. It's a place where friendships are forged, ideas are exchanged, and dreams are nurtured. As candidate of Vice President of Student Life, my goal is to ensure that every student feels welcome, supported, and empowered to thrive academically, socially, and personally. Round of applause for the Okay, so as I mentioned, there are 5 candidates in total for this position, and also then with the addition of Ron, we open nominations. If you look on our website, chesterfc.com, you can read all of those manifestos. And I'm sure those candidates will be around campus in the next couple of days, including people on the stage if we want to ask them any questions. So now we have done the speeches, we will move to questions. And to present the 2 pre-submitted questions, including one of his own as well, is Tom, the current BBC.
Thank you, everyone. Like Howard said, I'm Tom Scott. I'm the current Vice President of Students Life at Chester Students Union. So, these are questions that have been asked on our social media that I will ask to the candidates. So, first question, I'm going to someone first. So, and then over to you. So, my first question is, how will you bring more life to the Chester Student Union building and make it the place to go for students?
Really good question. I personally, when I came to university, I didn't think it was very wild in the SU, which sounds kind of crazy, but when you come in, you don't really realise that it's a space where people can actually gather and come to speak with their friends. You make me think of the cafe areas. So I think, again, promoting it on social media, making it the place to be, holding more events here would make sure that people know to come here to hang out. More say pizza days or stuff like that to try and get people connected with the space instead of just, other areas of the campus site.
Awesome. You're right.
Same question.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. She have a plan to organize different events, events and organize job fair to attract students to come to Chester Students Union, collaborating with our employment section, and we'll email to them directly and to know about our activities, different types of activities. So this way.
Yeah. round of applause. Okay, so this is the second pre-asked question. So I'm going to go to Emily and then to someone there. So the next question is, what are your plans to ensure that disabled students get equal rights to societies and sports teams?
Okay, thank you. Disabled students are also part of society. As a student, they have right to get all things from our university, and we need to provide for them different types of opportunities. Like we organize sports for special disabled person, and we can offer them different types of job, like whatever they can do. And in our social media, we advertise for them that they are not only disabled physically, they are our wealth of a society. They can, if we offer them the opportunities.
Okay. So yeah, same question to Sonic.
As a person who does have an invisible disability and is in the sport, I know it can seem absolutely impossible to go to do that sport, but it isn't impossible. You are able to do it, and I think that one way you can try and make it more inclusive and get more people who do have a disability, physical or not physical, can be by having those kind of events instead of those Wednesdays where you all go out to have other events such as staying on campus and maybe drinking with friends on the SU bar, which is more accessible. And then also holding other events like game nights and other things like that to make it a bit more inclusive instead of just having to go to town and back. And that might not be suitable for those people who have disabilities, especially going into those kind of buildings. As well as if you have a disability, it may seem like you can't do that sport, but obviously we have wheelchair basketball. We can also get other sports that might be suitable and can be run by disabled students.
Okay, so I'm about to ask you a question that I've made myself. Okay, so I'll go to someone first and then to. So my question is, with your role as Vice President Student Life, what do you expect from to perform from your role? Not only just working with the Athletics Union, who look after sports, but also student services, student experience, the bar, which is catering, and also, in this time, accommodation for students.
Well, it's the obvious answer. You expect things to change. You expect things to become better. And that is what I personally want to try and achieve. Listening to all the comments from different people, I want to try and make sure that everyone feels supported in the university, everyone has that opportunity to, be like, oh, this is something that's wrong with the sport, I'm having problems with my accommodation. You can get it solved and you can have those plans put in place so then those people seem supported in all those different possible areas.
Awesome.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so my question was, what do you expect from your role as Vice President of Student Life, not only working with the Athletics Union who look after sport, but also working with other departments of the university, so for example, student services, student experiences, catering, who look after the bar, and also accommodation as well?
Normally, for the students, Chester Students' Union and University for questions for students, we expect from our students' union university to support us. First of all, we have to find out our problems. Basically, as an international student, we face accommodation problem. As an international student, I faced such type of problem at the beginning of my study life here. then we can't offer maximum students accommodation part actually. We need to offer them private accommodation which are affordable for the students. And other cities, there was opportunity for students, but I think international students can get, I think, sports facility, playground. I think we can't give them about our sports facility. We will do for the best.
Great, thank you. Any questions as well? You want to stay on the stage? Perfect. So we now have space for 2 questions from the audience. Does anyone have a question? Remember, you must ask both of the candidates a question. Same question. Anyone? Yeah, go ahead. Just say your name and then ask the question.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Sheikh Abin Rahman. I'm also a nominee for this election, and I was going through your manifestos, guys, and Seifel's point number 1 and your point number 5 are sort of similar in saying implementing a comprehensive communication strategy to ensure all students are informed about union activities, events, and opportunities. And Summers one saying seek out alternative ways to promote society, sports teams, and events through weekly spotlights. How do you both plan to implement these ideas?
Who went first last? Andy, do you want to go first on this? What are your plans to implement your communication?
And promotion.
Students are always interested to know about our opportunities and facilities from our university students union. Many students are not aware of them. That's why we plan to inform them. Or students unions are doing different many types of activities like them mental health and social awareness and them job facilities and them sports facilities and how to connect in other communities. Then I'll inform them. So this way. Thank you.
Someone, same question?
Well, many people don't really read their emails, and they don't really look around them and look at posts as often, which is a good way of getting people's attention, but not everyone's attention. I think the best way is trying to implement things that are actually what people are going to see, such as in classes, maybe like at the end of the class for like a short 2 minutes talking about, the current events. Or, in the sports societies, messaging them and saying, hey, can you tell your sports society about this topic? And then, word on spread. So it's trying to find those kind of ways where everyone will be able to see what you're trying to show them, like events and stuff like that, without having to, go back to like email them, which again, they won't see. But yeah.
Thank you very much, Ryan. We're going to have a bit of extra time, so we can ask some more questions if that's okay with both of the candidates. So, whilst you're thinking of one in the audience, I've had one submitted online. So this is, and take a moment to think about this before you answer as well. Who is your role model in student life? So who is your role model currently in student life? I'm guessing that could be anyone from the university, student union. You don't need to pick me. Or Tom for that matter. But yeah, so 2 minutes to answer that. Let's start with Summer.
I know who will actually answer it, it'll have to be Tom. Because the amount of people I've spoken to that just don't even know what Tom looks like, but know Tom's name is incredible. Like, the amount of people that I spoke to today are like, do you know Tom Scott? Or are you going to be the next Tom Scott? And I'm like, I don't think I can live up to that. But everyone knows who he is. And I want to try and, get my name out there as much as possible. I don't think I'm able to, but definitely, try and achieve the thing that Tom's done this year. Yeah.
For this question, I have to answer from my country. Actually, I have a role model in student life. His name is Honorable Shepherd. He's our national leader. I respect him very much. I know about him from his history and biography. He was trying to connect with students directly and always looked after students' problem and about their facilities, about their personal activities, and about institutional problem, institutional opportunities, and they always tried to be a friend actually to the students. That's why after that, he was a national leader. He became our father of the nation and Bangladesh. That's what I call it.
Two great answers. I've got another question online, but I'll go to the audience first. Anyone got a question? Yeah, go ahead.
No, my name is Sumerat Jadeja. I'm studying MS International Finance at Chester Business School. So as both of them are focusing on student life, education. The education is not only just to get through the classrooms. It should be around the campus as well. And there are the many campuses. This is not the one, but this is the main campus. I will ask a question about events and accommodation. Currently, the accommodation service is one of the best around the UK, especially when we talk about the northwest of England. So how will we add the values to that current team? And as Tom is very well handling every sports union and athletics union, our university is one of the cheapest in terms of joining anyone's society. The joining fee is very less. How they will add the values to the current facilities? We have active campus. We have free gym sessions. We have any fitness training going around the campuses.
Okay, so now I've got your two questions there before you go on to the number question. So it's how you would add value to accommodation, and the second one was around
Around the
active
athletics
campus.
athletics union, because currently we are getting a very nice facility. How they will create more values in it?
Right, do you want to go first, Andy?
Thank you so much for the question. I said it before, the accommodation problem. Actually, many students suffer from this accommodation problem. Actually, myself, I suffer, and I know many students who suffer living problem. That's why they live in London, Manchester. They come to university from Manchester, London, because they didn't get affordable accommodation. And many times we inquire for accommodation from our accommodation section, but they don't. They can't offer them. Another thing, we will collaborate with private accommodation. I had planned. I told you before. For students, we can contact with private accommodation section if we can't offer from our university. And another question is sports. You told we have free team. No, we have not.
Gym sessions and the fitness trainings. Fitness trainings are.
Sorry, just let him finish the end of this statement, then we can go back.
So we have many facilities of sports, but we are not aware of this. We should inform all the students. Yeah, whatever we have, we should inform them and to engage our sports section. Thank you.
Very much. Would you add the value to the current situation in terms of housing? Sure. In terms of housing and sports.
Well, like you said, currently at the moment, it's so expensive to try and get accommodation. As first hand, I've struggled to try and get accommodation because how expensive it is. And I think going directly to the people who are actually in charge, trying to perhaps make, those those sheets where you can get people to vote on them to try and make a change, because it's really important that everyone is able to, go and get the accommodation that they want without having to stop because of the cost. But also, added value, I'd say trying to hold, have more in the accommodation. For example, my accommodation, it didn't have anything like, to say welcome or any kind of little add-on things, but I know some partnership accommodations did. I think bringing that into university accommodation would really help make those people feel welcome. And then there's the sports as well.
Yeah, I think like sports.
And value to sports. So as you said, sport cost is quite low for this area, which is great. And I'd say you point what you get out, but also I'd say if you have an idea of what you want to change, I'd say it, and you try and make a change based on what you want, because it's difficult to try and think of an answer that's, is this added value, but is this added value for you, or is it for everyone? But if you ask everyone, then try and make that change in the best way possible, then if you're successful.
I feel like you have a lot. So also actually in terms of insight as well, and this will be around after this, and obviously around campus or new growth campaigns, so do go and speak to them more. Probably time for one more question. I think we've got two, we can probably take both of those. Do you want to go first, Jack?
Okay, so I'm Jack, Vice President of Education currently. So my question is kind of a lot of this role as VP of Student Life is focusing on societies and kind of helping develop our societies. Societies quite often feel inferior to sports. How would you help to address that balance?
Okay, just take a look there. So societies often feel inferior to sports. How would you address that balance? Who wants to go first? Yeah, go ahead.
I completely understand why people might be coming from with that, because the sports teams have the AU where they can get support from them, but the societies don't necessarily have that kind of support system there. And I think trying to create one similar to the AU for just societies would really help them and be able to go to someone who you can talk to about either financing or about trying to make those events happen that they want to make happen. Because I see a lot of societies who maybe want to give more to the members, and I completely respect that. I think that's a great idea. But it's trying to enable that and trying to get a body for the societies to enable them to do that and allow them to basically make the society less it can be.
First of all, we have to make understand that sports is important in our life, because if we are related to sports, we make ourselves refreshed and will be mentally healthy. That's right, and this way we need to connect them more and more, connect them with society, and we should inform them about sports and to attract them so that they can connect with the sports aspects. Thank you very much.
Question at the back there?
Very similar.
Very similar, should we skip it? Any more questions, any final questions? I do have one last one that's been submitted. This is kind of more of a fun question, not that it was when fun, but this is more of a, so I'll just ask it. So what is the first thing you will do on Friday if you get elected as VP Student Life? So what's the first thing you'll do on Friday if you get elected?
I'll thank to everyone for supporting me as Vice President Student Life. After that, I take help from Tom and Ryan Committee how to proceed on for better student life.
That's such a fair answer, my answer's pretty terrible. I was just going to say eat food with my friends and celebrate with them probably. Yeah, that's probably what I do.
No one said sleep, which is more. Well, thank you both for attending and making a speech. So next up we have the VP Education candidates. Can I ask everyone who's running for VP Education to come up to the stage?
I got my
Yeah. Just let everyone get seated. Will do it. Everything good on the camera?
Yeah.
Press the button.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, okay, so on to the candidates for VP, Vice President, Education. We have 4 candidates running, and they're all present here tonight, so I think we should give them a round of applause just for that. So I vote for you all, I would. I vote for all of you. Obviously, as mentioned before, also Ron is running, so as a 5th candidate, and that's reopen nominations if you're not happy with the things that we get tonight. So the same rules, 3 minutes in terms of your opening speech. I will have a timer, and I'll say time when we get past those 3 minutes. Hopefully, do you want to start? And we'll do 3 minutes, yeah? Go ahead, just say your name and shoot. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Harold Lago. I'm from Chester Business School, currently doing Masters in International Finance. And yeah, I'm in this VP Education candidate. Like, it's been like I've been thinking to push myself towards to do something big from day one in Chester, but I couldn't do because I'm very scared of everything. And this is my first election in my entire life, so I don't have any experience in it. So if you think that I might feel shivering, scared, and it's just my first election overall. And coming to my manifesto, I have given 4 important points. The first important point is, which I noticed is, I think there's a huge gap between the domestic, the home students and the international students. Because I think it might be due to the people from different community, from different culture. What I think is, if I've been elected, we'll be promoting more and more of fairs, events, activities, so through which we can bring in more people together, inviting home students to the, for example, Diwali event, Ramzan, Christmas, and everything. And also inviting international students to home students events like Thanksgiving and coming to my next point is work-based learning, which I noticed through undergraduate students. I think that is lacking in postgraduate. What I think is the university can develop towards the postgraduate also, because work-based learning is much more important for each and every student, because it's something which motivates us to get into the field which we are studying or which we wanted to pursue. And coming to my third point is something similar to the second one. Is I think once people or colleagues who are completing their studies, I don't think they are going into the same relevant field for their work or work experience. For example, I'm in a finance background. There are many people going inside management, operations. And what I feel is they should go into the same field which they are from, and that too within the 6 months of their graduation. And final point is like I am open to like feedbacks, and I know feedbacks are everywhere, but I don't think people are taking it much serious. But if I'm being elected as a VP Education, I'll take a feedback as a very serious thing, because I think at the end of the day, what people want is what we can provide. Like we can't give these are the things you can.
That is time, I'm afraid. There'll be more time in your questions to cover maybe anything you missed
Just
out.
one thing, like if you think I'm the best candidate, you can vote for me. If you don't think I'm the best candidate, you can vote for 3 other colleagues of mine. Because voting is
I'll have to stop you there because it is over time. Sorry. Thank you. Round of applause. Okay, do you want to go next? 3 minutes starting now.
Firstly, thank you, Karan. That was a good speech. Hello everyone, my name is Shivani Darida and I'm pursuing MSc Sports Medicine at the Chester University Exton Park campus. I'm from India and currently I'm running for this position. I'm honored to run for this position because mainly I don't think this position for me is like a leadership role. For me, it's more like I'm just a representative for the students on campus. For me, education is very subjective. Not everyone learns in the same manner, and not all learning is done on campus, as one of my other friends did mention. Learning can be variable to each and every individual, and for me, when I am elected, if I'm elected for this role, it will be really important for me to make sure that each and every student's concerns, feedbacks, and requests are heard and taken action upon, so that they can get the right quality of education, because education is the biggest investment of their life. So I think, yes, that's all I'm running for. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next candidate, you want to just introduce yourself and I'll start the clock.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Adebisi Adedayo. I'm a chartered accountant and one of the professional accountants. So, I'm from the Accounting and Finance Department, the Chester Business School. So, I'm running for this position, but before I state my reasons, I would like to, acknowledge the work of the current administration. They've done a great job regarding the educational aspect of the school. But then, I feel like there's still more to what we are currently experiencing in terms of education. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going for this position. Because I have passion for education. I'm so happy when I see that people excel in what they do academically. So I feel like there's still more to what we need to accomplish in terms of the educational experience to be able to be critical. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going for this role. And based on my experience back home from the university, I was part of the leadership of the Accounting and Finance in my university days. And I feel like there's more as to what can be done based on the current work that the current administration have done. And I feel like, okay, we need to do more, and that's why I'm going for this position.
That's it. And our last candidate.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Schmidt. I'm running for the Vice President of Education here at the University of Chester. As a mature student in Business Management Program and as your student voice represented, I bring a unique perspective to this role, which is complemented by over 15 years of experience in a trade union representation. All the background has equipped me with the right skills to effectively advocate and negotiate on behalf of all students in our academic environment. To come out with my campaign points, I've cross-referenced the National Student Survey results with student representative feedback and come out with the most top-level issues that students are facing at the moment here at Chester, which is student assignment feedback and assignment ambiguity. They don't have clear assignments. On top of that, there's a student voice. Not everyone is aware of what it is, what they can do, and that's another point of the campaign. And this is topped it up with the quality of representation of the student panels. Thank you for considering my vote, my candidacy, and I'm here to ask any questions you might have.
Brilliant. Thank you. so now we're going to go on to the questions. A chance for the candidates to elaborate on maybe anything or everything that they said in their opening statement. To ask the two pre-submitted questions, I'd like to invite up Jack, who is the current Vice President of Education.
So, first question, there's over 15,000 students at the University of Chester. How will you ensure that you're taking on all the different experiences and decide what to focus on during the role? And then, yeah.
So as for me, accordingly, I would, as you said, 15,000 is a lot of students. The current situation, what I think is really good because we have, as per different courses, we have voice reps and they come up with really good valuable feedback. Apart from that, we also have course module feedbacks, which not everyone does fill up, but yeah, it is kind of valuable and important. When it comes to bringing a change from my perspective, what I would do is actually make sure that even professors and the faculty is given their feedback on what the students are learning out of. And just not giving them assignment credits and marks, also giving important feedback on how their course is giving the objective what they're trying to give out in the module.
Okay, so for me, feedback is very, very important, and what I will do is to ensure that okay, we have a good feedback system in place in terms of regular meetings with the students, be through the societies, some one-off visits to the each department within the university campus to ensure that we get the feedback that we need. Because student voice rep are a good system in place, but then that's not enough. I feel like once we are able to have regular meetings with the students, let's say once in a while, let's say once or twice within a month, to ensure that we get feedback from them directly. That will do a lot of more work regarding feedback and ensure that they have good education experience.
That question leads quite well from my first points. It's incredible hard to reach all 50,000 students. The reason for that is from the last year's national student survey, there were only 1,500 students from Chester took part in that survey, which is only 10%. So, it's difficult to reach to everyone. However, I think my approach would be to broaden the subject, so ensure that student voice rep more visible. The best way to do it would be, if possible, maybe having dedicated like a personal academic tutor. Could be a SDR in a student app. So there is a direct contact that would go into the student voice rep for that particular business unit. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to approach and collaborate closely with sports clubs and societies, because they quite often know what their members' problems, issues are. So that would be a good insight for that. So there's various ways, but I don't think it's possible to reach all 50,000 students.
For the past 1 week, I have met 1,000 students, almost gathering feedbacks and what are their needs and wants. By reaching out to different people, what I come to what I understood is there are not one or two different things which we need to focus on. There are more than 15 to 20 things which people are which we need to focus on. So, as I have given in my manifesto, the fourth point, getting a proper feedback and working on it is much more important than the other three points, I think. Also, by getting these feedbacks, I think we can move much more improve whatever we have given or whatever we are trying to give to the societies or to the people and the community. So I think by getting these, we can improve in the community.
The second pre-prepared question is, what are the top academic issues facing students at the University of Chester at the moment?
Okay. So based on my campaign and feedback I've been able to get from students, I realized that most of them have issues when it comes to feedback. That they have been issues with academic integrity or so I feel like what we need to do is to still fall back to feedback, because most of, for example, I would say international students find it difficult to actually understand. It's one thing for you to go for class, go for lectures, and the other thing for you to understand what is being taught in class. So I feel like there's an issue with understanding, which is now resulting into academic integrity issue with university system. So that's one thing I feel like we need to work on, that is going feedback and academic integrity issue.
I mean, on top of the 3 points that's already in my manifesto, which is the academic feedback and academic and assignment grades that are not clear, and there are also links to the timelines about how assignments are spaced together. So not like 3 in a row in the same week, so students would like it spread out. And the student voice feedback, students are unsure whether their feedback is being actually acted on. So that's another one. On top of all these, as I can find in the NSS results and the feedback from the SBR meetings, was changes, so kind of management structure. So when there's a room change, not always is effectively updated just the app. So students are going to the wrong rooms and they're not happy about it. There are also a couple of things regarding the access to resources, academic resources, and the tutoring in a way of support for assignments. However, I believe we already have all in place. I think it's more to the communication red flags.
Yeah, so what are the top academic issues facing students at the University of Chester?
I have heard like 2 of them. Like one is I'm from business school, but students from medical school think that there are very less post instructors currently, because whenever they submit their modules for review or for assessments, what they feel is there are very less instructors, so that they are getting their review and their feedback very lately. So I think that's one thing which they need to focus on. The other thing is, I think whatever events, fairs or anything they are conducting, I think there's no proper communication between the students and the university. I think that should be improved a lot. I think that should be improved a lot, like giving proper emails to students and what's happening in the university, because there are many people like they are just coming here, doing their modules, submitting the assessments and going back. They should like whatever they are paying as fees, I think they should get whatever values and I think it should be worth each penny they are paying. That's what I think.
So the top concerns and the top problems that students might be facing at this point is that when it comes to postgraduate students, there is a common feedback that I've received is that quite a lot of them feel that there's not much of a practical exposure that they should have, rather than it's pretty much focused towards research. I understand postgraduate is quite a lot of extensive research, but then according to the students, it's just research and probably not practical exposure. So that is one of the concerns that quite a lot of students have been facing. So that can be done, something can be done about it, and with a discussion, solutions can be brought up on how that course would benefit if there is enough practical exposure for that field. The other top concern is that we have a very good library, and there's extensive resources available in the library. But what happens sometimes is that because of the nature of the campuses, if there is a student base closely to the Exton Park campus, but is not having their course material available in the Exton Park and it's in the Queen's Park campus, so that kind of becomes like a barrier for them to get with the material, and then they go on the internet and get the resources over there. So they don't really get the hard copy of the material that they were looking for. So I think that can be worked on, and maybe when it comes to software like student laptop loans and all of that, international students have given that kind of feedback that if at all the communication between the two campuses or the rest of the campuses could be increased, that is like a very good achievement for that kind of a feedback.
So I've got a question that I've kind of come up with. So part of the role is to engage with a network of 350 plus student voice reps. How do you ensure that you engage that key group of students and ensure that those voices are heard and then not only heard but then that feedback is disclosed?
Something, well, 250. Okay, so ideally to process all the feedback, there will be the data-driven analysis to look for patterns, to identify the issues that affect the most significant number of students, so then they can be acted on to quickly resolve most of the issues and give it back, so students actually hear back something that they're actually being acted on. And sorry, what was the question? Just
So how do you engage that key group of students?
how to engage with the regular meetings. Now, not every 350 people. However, smaller group meetings, get the feedback from their meetings with the academic tutors. Just some samples of what's happening.
All right. We'll go around and then we'll work backward.
I think we can have like Jacob said, like proper meetings and some events together so that we can get whatever their needs and we can fulfill it. And also addressing 350 plus WhatsApp, it's like something which is doable. I don't say it's impossible, it's doable. And like I said, there should be a proper communication between them by giving them proper mails and yeah, I think.
On to that question, I would say 350 sounds like a really good number, like a big number. But what I would personally think about is departmentalizing it. So it is a big number, but then voice reps are coming from the same department. Like if there is sports and exercise department, there are so many courses in that department, and each and every one would like to have at least 3 to 4 voice reps. So if they're all departmentalized and then all of the feedbacks are combined and then taken up and then accordingly organized well enough so that the feedback can be acted upon. That's what the kind of approach I would want to take.
Alright, so for me, if elected, how I would handle this issue, I'll work closely with my SDM, student voice rep, and ensure that I'm on their group page. Because I feel like most of the departments that we have in the uni currently, they don't have a group page that kind of bring them together as to whatever issues that they have in their departments. I remember when I joined the uni in September, one of the first thing I did within my mate was to ensure that we have a group page whereby whatever issues anybody is facing within the department, within my mates, we can, discuss it within the group. Anybody can have a solution to the problem. So I will ensure that, okay, with all the student voice rep, I'm on all the departmental group chats to ensure that, okay, whatever issues the students are facing, I myself can see it directly, and also from the feedback I get from the student voice rep, I'll be able to clarify it.
So questions from the audience now? Just introduce yourself and then ask the question.
Alright, so my name is Abayomi. international business MSc. So my question goes thus, like just like the previous, the current vice president, they've actually done well. So one of those things is the question he asked last. I'll be coming from there. So they did one thing last time for the last this previous set. They added each individual departmental voice rep to the platform, and they communicate to them, to us. So, but one thing I want to point out is this: the communication was good. At least we were able to express ourselves. But now, issue of student failing or not passing the assessment, it's still rampant a bit. Based on, okay, just like one of you said, understanding really matters, because what the lecturer communicated in class is there, but most of them do not understand. How do you intend to help students who don't have basic understanding that after doing the assessment, the result comes out, they fail, they receive for it again, they still fail? How do you intend to help them?
You're asking specifically when students get bad feedback from their people assessors. How would you help support that? Who wants to go first? Yeah, go ahead.
That is a really good question, and I can totally relate that how that happens, because if you are not like a native speaker of English, or if there is an international barrier coming in, then that makes a really big difference, and it's difficult to cope up with that kind of difference. And so what I would intend to do is that if that student is failing again and again, or maybe having to give a retest, probably connect them to the PAT and to the ASK department, the academic skills department, and make sure that they're getting ahead of what they're supposed to, and probably understanding what the barrier is and then helping them out towards the achieved goal.
Alright, so I'll twist that is, like I said before, that understanding is very, very important regarding academic and feedback and stuff I've been like observed so far from students. So I will ensure that they understand the assignment or the coursework, because most people tend to go outside the assessment brief, and I feel like the assessment brief is enough for you to like pass whatever coursework it is, because it's entails what that you need to do in the work. So if you are going outside the assessment brief, it means you are doing what you're asked to do, for example. So like she said, we already have a good system in place in the university campus, the likes of the arts team and the likes of PAS, student voice rep, and also help you to solve your issues. So one thing I will do is to ensure that, okay, students understand their assessment. Because it's not just about teaching and going for lectures, just to take attendance, technical and stuff. Ensure you understand the work, right? So once you're able to like understand the work, then I see no reason why you should have any issue. And like I said before, we ensure that there is a departmental group, like with WhatsApp or your team, so like we the student leaders will be there to observe. We might not be able to like look through all the messages in the group, but at least once in a while we can be able to like pinpoint a particular issue that the students are facing. So that way we'll be able to like, provide solutions to solve. Thank you very much.
Right, okay, so I think it is incredibly hard to fail assignment. There may be an ambiguity in assignment, but we're talking about the details. Now, understanding that the assignment grades are available on Moodle almost on the side of the module. They are being explained by the tutors several times throughout the module. There's a lot of support and explanation to the assignment was given. So, if you don't understand, if students don't understand it, they should go to the drop-in sessions towards the end of the assignment and use the feedback, go to ask. So, I don't know. It's as a PE education is more kind of a broader to deal with the issues than individual student passing their assignment. So I think to focus on the assignment and the feedback, that if you do fail, that the feedback is constructive and will help you to get better and pass this assignment.
I think students should stick to the APS and guidelines, which is already mentioned in their assessment brief, through which they can work on the assessment. Even though, following the assessment brief, they are getting not the expected marks. I think they should be in close contact with the ASK team and their module instructors so that they can get the proper feedback or they can work on the assessment again. I know it's like very hard if once we are like getting low marks or not getting the passing point. Like I know it's not the end of the world, but still we can again work hardly on it and we can again pass it. So I think we should stick to the guidelines which is being followed by the university so that they can again try.
So a question that has been submitted online, I'll come back to the audience. What do you love about studying at Chester? So what do you love about studying at Chester?
For me,
Jacob, do you want to- yeah, go ahead.
For me, I would say I love the library. Two for them aspects of the library is, I mean,
Yeah.
I am so in love with it, and that's
Okay. Round of applause to the library. Next.
I mean, I live in Chester, so it was close.
Living in Chester? Yeah.
Honestly, I love studying in Chester because of Millie, the campus guy. But yeah, to answer the question, I love studying in Chester because of the library. I mean, I go into the library and I feel like studying. So yeah, that's why.
It's the library I want you.
I think I like Chester because it's more a peaceful city because I've been living here for the past 10 to 11 months. More than the library, I think the city is like which has a Roman culture in it, and I think I stick to it and I'm slowly becoming a proper British.
So we're going to try and do sort of 30-second answers, if that's okay. Is that okay? Yeah. And Blackbird?
As an SVR myself, one of the most common complaints I hear is people who just start first year or are in foundation year, they come from different educational backgrounds, right? So whenever they're starting a core module, they don't have that information that they should require to do that module. How would you, if I came with you with this complaint, how would you guys individually tackle that?
Did you get that?
Okay, so for me, I would say orientation is very, very important for fresh students. So they need to be well oriented. So I know we do induction, but that is still no more detail. They need to be well oriented as to all aspects of the educational experience. I mean, with that, they will be able to get what they need.
Do you want to just ask the last bit of the question again?
Yeah. So if that was a complaint that was given to me and I would come to you with this complaint that they don't have this education required to actually finish this, how would you support them into gaining that education, right? Your role.
What education? I'm confused with the question.
So
just elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, so basically, for example, in A-levels biology, right, depending on where you take it from, IAL, EQA, different sources have different chapters missing and such, right? So if someone comes here with an A star in A-levels, they still might not know those specific chapters. Someone came up to me and someone says that, hey, this wasn't taught to me. How would you help them? Would you give them extra classes? Like what advantage would you give them in university with your role?
Yeah, so things that might be missing from someone's knowledge, which are
That's
required
what the foundation is, yeah. Foundation year is about, is to bring you to close all those gaps before you start level 5. So the foundation year is to do all that. I don't know if that answers your question.
I'll do. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, firstly, I do agree with Jacob that that's what foundation year is all about. But even so, if that complaint comes towards me or that feedback comes towards me, I would probably direct them again to one of their program leaders. They need to go and book an appointment with the program leader and ask for the further guidance from the program leader. Because it's basically related and authoritative and on the part of the program leader to take a decision and give them the right kind of feedback on that. Because it's pretty particular to their course and their subject. And that's something that I would not be the right person to give them.
First thing is they can ask their program leaders regarding the courses. And the next thing is there are more learning sites available. For example, LinkedIn Learning, which we have like I think 10,000 plus courses where we can read and groom ourselves. So I would suggest them to take up the required courses for them so that they can know whichever the modules they are lacking in and they can develop their skills in it. Even though if they are not much into it, maybe after that we can think of having a proper pre-planned classes for them and with their module instructors. I think that way it works.
I've got a question related to AI assessments. You see the proliferation of AI for recent years. I'm curious about how uni is going to make them prepare for future of work, such as AI in it. I'm wanting to see what kind of policies will be put in place with. Are you going to have in-person exams, or is it going to be having assessments with AI? What's your thoughts?
So artificial intelligence, how should universities approach that? Should we start at the end of this time?
I think as far as AI is concerned, many people are using like ChatGPT and all. That's what we asked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think people need to focus on themselves first, like what skills they are grooming themselves in, rather than getting into AI and working on the assessments and doing exams. I think developing our skills is much more important than working on the assessments. And yeah.
Yeah, go ahead,
I mean, does the university response to increasing the AI accessibility was spread away and it was good. It was it's not planning it because it's not possible to manage that, to police that. But also what we said is it needs to be a kind of embedded so students are prepared for it because that's what we expected of them before. And at the moment, each brief assignment lists most of the briefs and the list whether it's allowable to you allowed to use it or not. And if you do, if you use it just for a generic scripture, it's similar to the Google kind of thing, so it's not really required. But if you do use it, you just request it to put references, you prompts and response. So it's not on, it's allowed to use.
Alright, so for me, school response to uni response to AI is very, very good in terms of the restrictions we have as to using it and stuff. Because the generation we are in now, we are in this AI generation whereby artificial intelligence is taking session as well. So it's very important for us to, it's good for us to know about it, but then we have to be very careful as to using it for our academic work, whether to avoid any form of academic
So to answer your question regarding the AI response from the uni, I think I'll answer that in parts because partly when it comes to students using AI for their assignments or for whatever other stuff, there is a good screening process whenever submitting an assignment and then a feedback is given, right? So the response towards the AI use is pretty structured and it's good currently, and that needs to be continued the way it is. Incorporating AI as teaching them because they want to go ahead and probably it's an AI generated world right now. On that point, I would like to say that using AI and making them know how to learn and use AI is like a good thing. But then again, it depends on what kind of background they are from and what kind of world they're trying to enter into. Like when it comes to pure medical sciences, they would rather not learn AI at all and they would rather not focus on that because it's not going to matter in the further box of life for them. But yeah, courses related to technology, crime, work, or anywhere near business, yeah, AI would be a great tool for them to be inculcated in their course.
Any quick fire questions from the room, Tom?
So, thank you. If you were elected for your role,
How would you help and support whether it was an first 18-year-old doing their undergrad or a master's students for the first time arriving in Chester? How would you help them and support them in getting to grips with the academic writing and the standards of the university?
Who wants to go first? Let's make it like 30 seconds. Yeah.
That's a very good question because academic writing is something which is predominantly based in the study course and culture amongst the Indian universities. And as a VP candidate myself, what I would try to imply is that probably there should be academic mock tests which should be done because that's one benefit, and it's mock so there's no worries to the percentage or the marks of this course.
I think students should attend the orientation programs, which will be in the start of their programs, I think, because it gives a knowledge about what they are going to do and what they can expect from the module. And even if they miss their classes, like whoever or like they have not attended the orientation programs, I think we can have separate classes for them with the help of module instructors and ask team. I think that way it works.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to again acknowledge the college work of the administration and regarding the aspect of induction, kind of experience that we get as fresh students. Because before now, I'm not really good as to how to cite, how to write limits and stuff. But within the first 1 month of our induction, at least we're able to like know how to do stuff. So what I would do very clearly is to ensure that this continue and is even more improved in such a way that a layman or a student that don't even know anything about how to write can easily attend this induction, and from after the first module they're able to like know how to effectively write academically and do well.
Yeah, I'll start to fit within 30 seconds. So the question was, how would I help this student? But yeah, I would share how to use Ask my website and get help from them because that's what they're for.
Great. Big thank you to the candidates for VP Education. They'll be hanging around because obviously they'll be here throughout the week. So do talk to them if you have questions. We're going to have a quick 5-minute break now. Please don't leave because next up we've got a big one. We've got President of CSU coming in. So please stay. Lots of pizza left, lots of drink cans. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
How bad did this go? Completely forgot what I was saying. So, yeah, what are they done?
Okay, Rick, take a seat. Eyes down, look in.
Eyes forward. Forward 2. I hope everyone has enjoyed your extended pizza break. I can see from the empty pizza boxes that I think you probably have. Now it's time for big one. So I want to welcome the candidates for president up to the stage, please. Give them a round of applause. So you know the routine by now. So we are going to do speeches first, so 3 minutes each, and then we're going to go on to questions. So we'll have 2 pre-submitted questions, which you've already seen. One from our current president, Ellie Smith, and then we're going to go into the audience as well. So think throughout the speeches, if you've got questions, just think of them and keep them saved for the audience part. Hello, by the way, to everyone who's watching from the way to you. Right, do you want to go first? Yes, go ahead.
Hey guys, I am Sheikh Abdul Rahman. I'm currently an SDR and a student here at Chester Uni. I'm in the life sciences department, and I'm running for president. And not really much to say about myself. I'll just get down to my points here. So my main goal with this entire election is to not only support every student in the most equal way possible, but to represent a platform where people can come up and give me a point, and that will be something that if I know that I can accomplish, I'll add it to myself. And my entire campaign, I started this campaign, and if you can check my manifesto and you compare my poster, my manifesto had 5 points when I started that I wanted to guarantee that these are feasible goals that I can make. Right now it's at 8 and 14, still waiting for me to actually go through and find and establish. The goals I want to do is establish classes for mature and foundation year students, so people who've been out of education for a while. This is one of the first things as an SVR that I was told that people don't know how to use software like Word and other ones, you know? So when they're coming into academic writing and academic English, this is one thing that they struggle with. Secondly, I want customizable ID cards and adding pronouns to student ID cards. So a lot of people who are transitioning and a lot of people who don't want to go by their legal names, right? A lot of people don't want to be referred to something that they believe they are and they should be. So if we can make a push for that, I'd be very happy. I want a serious crackdown on discrimination against age, gender, orientation, religion, and appearance, and I've made a 3 systems strike policy that you can find on my website, and a link of it is on my poster. Term-long inquiry boxes for students who are not only struggling through general life and through education. So after moving here, one of my main struggles was I've been going through a few issues that personally were affecting me, but something that only I could speak to my close friends about who are actually sitting here, so I'm thankful for their support. But when I saw the resources offered here, it's not something like I can go up to someone and talk to, right? There's text boxes, there's chat options, there's face-to-face, right? But you can't just always express yourself like that. So I want to set up inquiry boxes that not only people can just read, but we'll have a team set up maybe. People just go read and make a reply to them, you know? Support and help the people that are unsupported. And a big point that was added by the people who reached out to me was support animals on campus. Sadly, we don't want Millie to just reign over Supreme here. We want other animals too, so that's one thing. And the rest is on my poster, and I don't want to take up too much of your time because I want to answer some things and questions. So that's me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Kuber Ali, and I'm an international student. And as you see me before, the last year I was here for the same position. But that was my first time, so I can say I do all the efforts that put on that campaign and those. So after that, I joined a community or society, the Pakistan society. So I meet some of you in different events like Eid or last year the Eid celebrations. And we also run for the independence celebration. So I was doing as a trader, working as a trader there. So probably I can say that I'm the president of the society. And the second thing, I'm on this for this presidentship. So I learned a lot of things in the past 1 year by working with the society. No, there are 5 things that I want to work after being a president. So first of all, virtual lab. I think after reaching here in the past 1 year, because I was an international student, I don't have friends here, I don't know how to communicate with the people, I don't know how to create a community, but I learned a lot in the last year. So I want to share my experience with the people. I want to create a platform where all the people, not just an international student, also the national students, there is a gap between the international and national students. So I want to reduce that gap so they can communicate with each other friendly. Mostly international students don't know how to, where to go, how to talk. So by doing that, we can reduce that gap between them. And there is also one issue that I also feel that mostly students are shy. they don't experience this kind of thing in their home countries. So they don't know how to convey their message to the teachers and to the department administration. So I want to work on that. The second thing I want to work is skill swap. This is the most important thing. Most of the international students and national students don't know how to swap their skills. So I want that we can create workshops where people can come, they can share their ideas with each other, they can communicate with each other, they can teach each other. Like I was a cyber security student, so I can teach other people a few things, a few awareness about cybersecurity attacks. If there is a doctor, they can aware me about the.
That's fine. Sorry. Round of applause. There'll be a chance for any questions for you to expand on some of those points. Before we move on to the questions, though, it's worth noting that at Chester University, 1 in 5 students are international students, and this is the first time in the history, I think, of CSU that we will have, we're very likely to have an international student as president. So I think I just wanted to highlight that. Okay, moving on to questions and to ask the questions, we have the current president, Ellie Smith.
So the first question is, what are the biggest challenges currently facing students who start?
As I mentioned in my speech, that mostly students don't know how to do the assignments. The first and the second thing, they don't know how to find a job. They don't know how to make the CVs, they don't know how to speak with the people, they don't know, they feel shy to speak with each other, with the teachers, with the students, with the local communities. So I want make a platform where people can reduce this gap and I can help them to make these things settle.
In my case, I completely agree with all of his points, but I also want to add is that this is an incredibly broad question. Every single person sitting in this room is different, and we all have different problems that we're facing. I can't just go and highlight a specific issue and say that this is a problem that's happening. A lot of problems are happening, right? I have pink and blue hair now, and yesterday someone assumed that I was gay. That's not an issue to me. It could be an issue to someone else, right? So the points I had for me is like, I found out 8 problems, all of which are points listed under my manifesto. These are problems that people told me are issues, and I will support those issues. So fairness in housing, avoiding education gaps, support animals on campus, tackling discrimination, expressing and supporting expression, free-form support without being face-to-face with someone, and everything between.
So the second question is, what do you think is the ideal relationship between the university and the student union?
So in the ideal world, and as the Education Act made the union, right? The union here, we're supposed to be the voice of the students, and the university is supposed to be at home as the dependent, who's absent to a student like you said in this one, which I really like. Like, we're supposed to give students the voice and the opportunity that they might be missing through their educational career. So I think that in the ideal world would be the relationship that I would want for the union and the university.
According to me, the student union and the university is just like the twin siblings. In a house, if they want to have fun, if they want to study, they can go together. I'm not able to say that I'm just able to focus 100% on the studies. There must be some fun, and that will be just possible by the student unions. And I enjoyed a lot in the past 1 year. And the second thing, without student union, the student don't have a voice. They are not able to convey the message to the different communities. They are not able to express themselves. So I think having both is just like a siblings. So I think it's better. According to me, it's a easy way to express this goal.
So now I've kind of got my own question to you both. So within the role of president, you're not just there as a president, you'll also be governor of the university and chair of the trustee board. So you're going to get pulled in lots of different directions all at once. So the question I have is, what will be most important to you when you're prioritising and managing your time within your role?
There is nothing impossible in this world. So if everything is possible, because I'm doing the full-time job here, that will be a full-time role for me. So I can manage my schedule according to that. I can, first of all, in the past 1 year, I'm not finding anything related to past presidents and people. I think they do a very excellent job in the past 1 year. But still there was some gap. People don't know about the CSU, and they don't, most of the people don't like to come here and meet with the president and vice president and the representatives. And we say that this is the first time there are more international students engaging with the election. Last time there was just only one student here. So I think it's not difficult. If you listen to the people, you can know, you know about the question of the people, you know about the problems of the people, so you can make the solution. And all the things I can learn from you and my other fellows.
Yes, so within the role of president, you don't just have being president, you also have being a governor of the university as well as being chair of the trustee board. So you've got lots of things to do, being pulled in lots of different directions all at once. So the question is, what will be most important to you when prioritising and managing your time within this role?
Within this role, I think the most important thing, like as I've been saying with my entire campaign over and over again, is like actually taking in input from others and using that a little bit more. Yes, I'll be with the board of trustees and I'll be governing, right? But all the input, like I don't want to forget the people that are around me, the people who supported me, who are giving me these ideas. No matter what I'm doing, because everything is entailed in the job description, right? I want to be able to deliver on the promises that I promised, and I want to be able to deliver on what they want me to deliver. I'm not here to be a leader, I'm here to get their fix and allow me to actually be that role.
Great, thank you, Ellie, for your question. Thanks for answering them. Now to the audience. Does anyone have questions? Yeah, just say your name and the question.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Adedayo Adebisi. So my question goes thus. So if elected as the president of the Students' Union, how would you work with your vice president to ensure that you achieve the set goal?
Very good question. I'm sure to elect. So if you're elected president, how would you work with the other two vice presidents? Who wants to go first?
Yeah. So firstly, as I was saying with our break, I am extremely lost in who to vote for because everyone was so strong. So no matter who I am with, I feel like I'll be able to manage with them pretty well. Obviously, without actually being in the job role, I can't guarantee of how we would interact or how the day actually goes. But I can say like every single person, no matter if I get the position or if he gets the position, I'm happy either way because I love all these ideas and I want to incorporate them with my own to ensure that everyone gets a fair say in how the CSU works.
According to me, we must create an environment to work just like a team. I'm nothing without having a vice president, and my vice president is not able to do better things without having the president. So it's just like a team. If you play the game, so you know every team member has their own unique things and responsibilities they need to do. So we will work like a team. So
yeah, Tom.
Thank you very much. I'm Tom, the Vice Chancellor. So during this time that's affecting not only the whole nation but also the students as well. If elected to the role, how would you ensure that help students with the cost of living crisis at the moment?
the cost of living crisis, how would you deal with it, or how would you approach it as president?
So I will try to do my best as much as I can because I'm not a politician and I'm not able to promise like that I can do these things because I have some boundaries. So I can work with that. I can ensure people like someone is living in Chester, might be that cost is quite bit high, and might be the village behind the Chester that might be fewer. So I can suggest to the people they can live there. So they can live on the on some there they can travel in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That would be okay for them, and they can easily reach here to the university. But I'm not able to see that I am able to do to reduce the cost of living because I can guide to the people as I experience how to reduce the cost of the living. But in general, I'm not able to say that I can help in the case in the scenario of giving something to someone. But I can suggest to the people how I survive here, how can I get a job, how can I reduce my cost of living, or how they can improve their lives.
Thank you, Tom, for that question. That was my most anticipated question that I've been thinking about over and over again, because this was the first point that someone has approached and told me about. And to prepare for that, I've gone through over the last 3 years of student voices, and I figured out how, where to actually invest the resources, because this is such a big thing that I had no clue about until I was actually running. My friend over there, he came and told me this point, and I was completely stumped, because I didn't actually even know this crisis was going on. And as I got into researching it, I've seen, especially from National Union of Students, I think, or I can send you the link, but over there they had this 2 charts of how they can specifically tell landlords to lower certain things like TV licenses and certain accommodation factors such as fire hazard safety that's too invested upon, lowering those certain things that not all accommodation may need, aside from the regulatory stuff, might help. So I can't consciously give you a direct answer because it's a very, very big issue. But I definitely looked into it, and this is something I'm developing over time as I go on.
Hi, Keegan. In any workplace, there's a hierarchy, and as much as anyone would like to have their own ideas put forward and done and just accepted, that's not always the case. So how would you react, or how would you go about dealing with getting told no to one of your manifesto ideas?
Yeah. If someone, so with that question in mind, I'm not sure who will say no, but I assume there's going to be a board of people, right? If someone does reject that idea, even though if I put full effort to it, one of my main campaign things that I again repeat is every promise I want to make, I want to deliver upon. If someone, especially my team, my board, or whoever it will be after nominated or elected, rather, if they say no, I think it's not only my factor that's taken into account, it's their thoughts, their effort to go to that answer as a no. There has to be a lot of thought put in. And if they say no, I'll take it fully into account. We have given our full efforts and we couldn't do it. And sometimes it's okay to take no for an answer, and not every fight is going to have a win.
According to me, nobody is perfect in this universe. So, according to me, if someone rejects my idea and I stuck somewhere, so might be I can come up with a new idea, with a better idea, so we can implement. That might be cover that one and the new one. So it helped me to make my promises true. So that's not a big deal. I think, as I said, nothing is impossible. So nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. You just need a courage to do that. So there is just 1 year. That's not too long, but hopefully, everyone who lose will be a team and will do their efforts to do the things.
Unfortunately, we have to bring it to an end there. Lots of really interesting answers and statements. Thank me Thank me. Now everyone, thank you. Join in candidates for president. So just wrapping up, batteries almost come on camera as well. Obviously the elections are open now, you can vote now. You will all, or most of you, hopefully will have had an email directly into the university student inbox this morning. That's the easiest way to vote. You just click on the link, it takes you about 5 minutes. Obviously it's easy because you've seen the candidates and hopefully you have a better idea who to vote for. Voting closes on Thursday at 5 p.m. Please encourage all of your friends to vote, all of your classmates to vote. The more votes we get in the Students' Union, the more legitimate and credible we are as an organisation. And also, please join us on Friday night over in the Union Bar for results night from 6 p.m. As you can see here. But a big thank you to all of the candidates. You'll see them throughout the week and see their exciting campaigns and everything they have to offer and to say. And thank you all for attending tonight as well. Thanks, guys.